Oh boy, another day, another rant. Oh, fuck, man. So if you are not actively involved within the anime community, there is a term that's being slung around recently called the Hood Weeb. And now you yourself would be thinking, well, Daffy, what's a Hood Weeb? And actually, if we look on Urban Dictionary, there are two distinct definitions for Hood Weeb. We're gonna take a look at both of them. Number one, Hood Weeb. Weebs from the hood or a bad neighborhood who watches anime. Usually they have the same taste in anime. This is usually shonen anime. It may include Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, etc. Enjoyment of manga may vary based on the person. Hood Weeb, quote, no cap, that new episode of Demon Slayer was clean. Weeb, damn, I have to watch that after school then. That is the second definition of a Hood Weeb. Hood Weeb, a term originally used as a self-description for anime fans from the literal hood, quickly appropriated by typically right-leaning, terminally online 4chan adjacent anime fans due to anime YouTuber Chibi reviews being doxxed and some people not showing sympathy for a situation, causing the terminally online individuals to believe the same hood individuals who are somehow not intelligent enough to consume anime critically are also simultaneously responsible for hacking into Chibi's credentials. Now, mind you, this video is not for me to slander Chibi reviews or anything like that, but I just wanted you to just get a look at these two definitions of what I'm talking about here. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. As far as this term goes, a lot of you might think it's just a whole lot of nothing, but this shit is most definitely a racist dog whistle. So if you don't want to hear me talk about like socio-political stuff, click off this video. It's not gonna be for you. But it's definitely that has been brought to my attention by a couple of people, and I figured I might as well talk about it. Now, as far as black people go within the space of anime and manga, if you were to look at how black content creators were moving 15 to 16 years ago, and mostly everybody, I mean, people were pretty secretive about anime and their enjoyment of it. I mean, when I was in high school, anime was seen as lame, and it was kind of starting to become in popularity with things such as Attack on Titan, but overwhelming majority of people were into sports and most popular shows like Game of Thrones and things of that nature. Anime was still a very niche thing. But as time went on, and even within the past 5 years or so, anime is very much so mainstream, which is great. It's fantastic. I love finding new animes to enjoy and talk about with you guys. But if someone ever throws the term Hood Weeb at you, yeah, it's 100% a racist dog whistle. And what is the term dog whistle, you may ask? Well, let's go ahead and read the definition by Merriam-Webster. Dog whistle definition: in terms of politics, an expression or statement that has a secondary meaning intended to be understood only by a group of particular people. If someone's calling you a hood weeb, they're trying to call you a d***er without getting banned. An example of a dog whistle is things like states' rights. The phrase states' rights, literally referring to powers of individual state governments in the United States, was described in 2007 by journalist David Greenberg in Slate as, quote, code words for institutionalized segregation and racism. States' rights was the banner under which groups like the Defenders of State Sovereignty and Individual Liberties argued in 1955 against school desegregation. In 1981, former Republican Party strategist Lee Atwater, when given an anonymous interview discussing former President Richard Nixon's Southern strategy, speculated that terms like states' rights were used for dog whistling. The anime community at large are no strangers to holding contempt for black people within these spaces. Look at any black cosplayer and you look through some of the most popular posts, scroll through the comments, and you will see tons and tons of heinous and grotesque comments. Look at the situation with the Dandanon community when an artist made black edits of the main characters and all hell broke loose over that entire debacle. People were sending death threats to each other left, right, and center. It literally looked like I was looking at a Klan rally with how people were talking about black people in these spaces. You have this paranoia for that, oh, if you make black edits of these characters, you're gonna, what about Japanese culture, man? Oh my god! People were talking about these black edits of these characters, like people drawing like Gojo as black, as Yuji as black, as Midoriya as black. People talk about these things like, oh, the Japanese culture is getting erased. Mind you, these are white people primarily saying these things. They're not even a part of the culture. And yes, you do have some Japanese people who feel that way, but a lot of Japanese people, they don't care. The overwhelming majority of people, they don't give a f***. And I want to point out something real fast. Whenever it comes to black people in like the superhero medium, the amount of vitriol that you see for black legacy characters is insurmountably larger than you see for legacy characters with other races. Look at Amadeus Cho from Hulk. Look at Jane Foster for Thor. Robbie Reyes for Ghost Rider. Wonder Girl, Jaime Reyes. You look at all of these different examples. Where is the outrage and anger for these legacy characters? But whenever a legacy character character is black, people automatically have an issue with them. They're not the real, they're not the original. People feel like the essence of the character will be wiped out or they're not edgy enough. It's so odd to me. I've talked about anime elitists before, and so whenever black people that enjoy anime actually find each other, we tend to group up. A lot of people that I talk to within the community are black. A lot of people in my community are black, which is fine. It's great. But using a term like this is absolutely harmful. And just generally, when you look at the history of how black people and black culture is treated in America, it can get very scary when you start looking at it. I mean, look at black terms that have been snatched by Caucasian culture and how the terms have been seen as now Zoomer speak, like period, drip, woke, cap, finna, dead ass, shook, tripping. These things are now seen as quote unquote Zoomer speak or Hood Weeb lingo, but these are originally black terms. Now, I don't typically like using the phrase AAVE, African American Vernacular English, because to me it's just black culture. This is just how black folks speak to each other. Some, not all, but most black people will know what you're saying when you refer to things like this. For myself personally, the most egregious out of all of the words that were hijacked is the word woke, because back in the day, the word woke was meant to signify being aware of social issues that were unseen to the common eye, to see through the propaganda that the government was trying to perpetuate against black people. So whenever I see a piece of media with a lead that happens to be centered around a character that is black, happens to be just any person of color really, or a woman, it really just infuriates me when people start using that term. And they say companies are desperate and they need to get back to real storytelling. And you see the comments, you know exactly what kind of people I'm talking about. The term has been completely bastardized and it just really makes me sad, unfortunately. But black culture historically is seen as rebellious, edgy, cool, or trendy. And historically, black culture has had things pioneered by black people and had its black roots downplayed by Caucasians, with things such as rock and roll from artists like Chuck Berry and Little Richard to things even like hip hop music. No self-respecting black creator is gonna call themselves a hood weeb, and if they do, you need to run far, far away. Now, if you were to ask me years and years ago when I was trying to figure out my racial identity as a young black man, I probably would have thought this was hilarious, but no, this is just sad. Because here's the thing, black people come in so many different variants of shapes, sizes, and colors. Not all of them are gonna be quote unquote from the hood. Do I ever speak like that? No, because that's not my background. Growing up, I got made fun of so much for the way I speak. I got told I was an Oreo. I got told I speak like Barack Obama. I got told I probably got bullied because I talk white. Things like that. And that made me struggle as a young black man. So when I hear shit like this, it's gonna make my fucking blood boil. You start getting this mentality of, oh, the black kids don't really accept me, but then the white kids make fun of me still. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? And then ultimately, as you grow up and you develop as a person, you're just like, you know what, fuck everybody. I'm gonna do what I want. Who cares? And then you got these racist ass wojaks where you have things like has no idea who Haruhi Suzumai is, nor will they ever, because they watch it because it's for pedophiles. Doxes and harasses random internet strangers rather than doing something. Now, before I keep reading this, number one, doxing somebody is never cool. That's fucking horrible. And then they say schizophrenically equates drawings to real life issues. Here's the thing, authors use real life issues to draw upon their work. Every piece of media that you consume equates to a real life issue. There is a message that is trying to be sold by the author. There's a message trying to be pushed onto you by the author, whether you agree with it or not, in all forms of media and storytelling. Does it have to be political? No, but there's going to be a message behind it. And then they say things like, oh, thanks Naruto, One Piece, DBZ, and Jujutsu Kaisen only animes in existence. Now, back in the day, they used to call these people shonen tards, but then as time has progressed, they start getting to this hood weeb mentality. Anime fans, just in general, I fucking hate all of them. I literally cannot stand them. Because for some reason, if you don't eat, sleep, breathe, and shit anime all day, every single day, you're not a real anime fan. Like, imagine if someone was this way about sports, about fucking tennis. Like, film critics get shit like this all the time, but for some reason, anime fans get a pass. I don't understand why. Now, is it a coincidence that a lot of people that use the term hood weeb are also happen to, be lolicons and think that children are attractive in anime? Maybe. I don't know, maybe. I just get so frustrated when I hear this term, man, because you even have people thinking that, like, things like aura is quote-unquote hood weeb lingo, which I don't know, what? This is not an AAVE term. It's just aura. People have been saying aura for fucking years. How is this Zoomer speak? How is this a hood weeb term? I don't understand. It's brain rot, 100%. It's fucking brain rot, but brain rot doesn't automatically equate to something like this. And then we start getting into these whole issues of these big streamers and things like that, thinking that certain racist things are okay to repeat to their fan base. I mean, I can't tell you how many fucking times I've been in certain games and I've heard teenagers start repeating fucking I Showed Speed clips where it says, need to die, need to die. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard that shit. Now, again, that's anecdotal evidence. I don't have any actual real proof of that. You'll have to take my word for it. I don't know. And then, like, this isn't to say that white people or even just people that aren't black can't participate in black culture. You gotta come at it with respect. You gotta come at it with respect like we go to any other culture. We look at things that are Native American in origin or are Japanese in origin or of Indian origin, things like that. I mean, like, you can very clearly tell who grew up with black culture and who didn't. You have guys like Paul Wall, fucking John B., Robin Thicke. Like, you very clearly can tell who actually grew up with the culture with respect for it and people who are playing a caricature. It's part of the reason why so many people hold Mac Miller in such a high place, because he was cool with everybody. He was just himself. He didn't give a fuck, right? And then you see guys like Ian, who very clearly are putting on a character. I don't know, man. This entire term just makes my fucking blood boil. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. I'm tired of hearing this shit. If you do happen to be a black individual that loves talking about anime and loves being in the anime community, do not ever go by this term. It's self-deprecating in nature. There is zero respect for you in it. Have some respect for yourself. Do not go by this term. But yeah, this is boy Daffy. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Y'all make sure to take care of yourselves, guys, and have a dab good one.